It's a book about a relationship between me and Alpo. Just an intimate relationship between two men who became brothers. You know what I'm saying? I originally went to interview him, and it's something that turned into an interview, into a long conversation, into a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a book about that. Just how I got a chance to know him, and I just wanted to show people a side of him that they never got to see. If you didn't personally know him, you didn't get to see the side of him. And it's something that, many a times I try to tell him, why don't you come off to the world like that? But, he was a true gangster, and, it was really hard for him to do. You know what I'm saying? He'll do it in private with the people who he know and he love, but it was hard for him to do with, just anybody. You know what I'm saying? He always had that, he was always going to be that 24-hour gangster.
So were you saying he was always going to be a 24-hour gangster? But you told me there's a difference between Alpo and Albert. Because that's where you got the title from, right? I never met Alpo. You met Albert.
I met Albert. Albert. Well, when I say that I never met Alpo, meaning for 10 years that he was on that visit in prison, me and him together, I dealt with Albert. Albert was somebody that was reformed. He was looking to come home and do amazing things and be an amazing person. And, kind of find redemption for all the things he done. When he came home, it wasn't something that happened fast, but it was a slow process of him transitioning back a little bit into the character Alpo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of us might have a family member that's a jail member that we may say, he was a terror when he was on the street, but he went to jail and he cleaned up and he's focused when he wants to come home, and they're different when they go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So in my case, with him, it was like I was dealing with Alpo, this character, this person. But then slowly over the last 5 or 6 years, he started falling back into, getting a little bit more aggressive, getting a little bit more impatient, feeding into what he was hearing about, his situation being a government informant. So that character Alpo started getting prepped and prepared to defend himself. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you started seeing a little bit of the aggression and stuff like that.
So you did not deal with Alpo when he came home like that. He was basically doing his own thing. Everything.
What you mean when he came home?
Yeah.
Oh no, I dealt with him every day. I dealt with him all the way up until he died. You know what I'm saying? But
wow.
His first 3 years while he was home, we was like white on rice. But then the last year and a half, he wanted to do things his way. You know what I'm saying? He saw a vision for the way he wanted to do things. And, because he's a man, I'm a man, you got to let him be. And, when you got love for somebody, you're going to love them regardless. You know what I'm saying? So that was our relationship. So it's kind of like, let me get out of his way and let him do and be who he wants to, be and what he see for himself. So, like brothers, you got a brother, if you got a brother or sister, you may not speak every day, but you speak and check in on one another and make sure you're good. So our last year and a half, that's how he was, where, every other week, once a month, we just check with each other, make sure we're good. But, he was doing him and I was doing me.
So you think he was falling back into like the hustling stuff and all that when he came home?
I mean, I didn't find that out probably to the last 2 or 3 months, you know what I'm saying, that before he passed. That's when I started finding out like, okay, he was doing things, you know what I'm saying? Like what he was doing, I won't say, but, he was doing things because, he had to make a living. You feel what I'm saying? So what he was expecting to work for him as far as like, the industry and his movies and his books and this and that, it wasn't moving as fast. And sometimes when you're in that lane, you're in a positive lane, it takes patience. You know what I'm saying? It takes patience and it takes time. And in his mind, he had to do some things that had to take place now.
Gotcha. He needed money now. He needed to make things happen now.
Yeah, he just needed to do things now. You gotta remember he's Alpo. He got a big mind, big character, and he got a big lifestyle. So he wants to, he's used to something. You see what I'm saying? He's not used to what the average dude is used to. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to. Yes, exactly.
Did he know about the book you just recently dropped? Did he know about you dropping it?
I mean, he's dead, so he couldn't have known that.
No, I'm saying though, but I know that book been in the works for a while though. I know you've been working on that book before he passed. Did you tell him about it?
No. My book I wrote in 6 months. I wrote from the time he died.
Wow.
And I just started writing.